Phil Knight wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. In fact, he started with nothing more than a crazy idea and a fierce belief in the power of persistence. In his memoir, Shoe Dog, Knight shares the raw and real story of how Nike came to be. But beyond the business journey, Knight's story is one of resilience, belief, and the human cost of success. The dream begins. It all started in 1962 when Phil Knight, just out of business school, decided to take a leap of faith. On a trip around the world, he came across a new kind of running shoe in Japan. That shoe was the beginning of a vision that would lead to Nike's rise. But what really sets this story apart is the relentless ambition of Knight, a young man who was willing to risk everything for a dream. Knight wasn't simply looking to sell shoes. He wanted to create something that would change the game. His journey wasn't about being the smartest or the most well-funded. It was about having an idea that he was willing to fight for, even when the odds were stacked against him. That's one of the central themes of Shoe Dog, the power of a bold, even unconventional idea to drive you forward. Early hustle and struggles. Knight's early years were filled with hustle, setbacks, and uncertainty. With little money, he started selling shoes from the trunk of his car. But the road to success was never smooth. Blue Ribbon Sports, what Nike was initially called, faced challenges from day one: unreliable suppliers, a tough market, and doubts from everyone around him. What makes this part of the story so powerful is that it shows that success isn't just about big ideas. It's about surviving long enough to make those ideas a reality. For years, Knight faced rejection from investors, issues with suppliers, and even his own doubts about whether the dream was worth pursuing. But his commitment to his vision was unwavering. Shoe Dog teaches us that the true test of an entrepreneur is how they respond to failure, and Knight's ability to persist in the face of adversity was key to Nike's eventual success. Key turning points. In 1971, Knight made a bold move. He changed the name of Blue Ribbon Sports to Nike, after the Greek goddess of victory. That decision, along with a partnership with legendary coach Bill Bowerman, set the stage for Nike's explosive growth. But success didn't come easy. Legal battles, manufacturing issues, and the constant pressure of being in a high-stakes industry made the journey incredibly tough. One of the most interesting moments in Shoe Dog is when Knight describes the internal struggle of making those big, game-changing decisions. Changing the name to Nike, launching the swoosh, even designing the iconic shoes, all these moves were risky, but Knight leaned into the discomfort of uncertainty. What this really highlights is the importance of taking calculated risks. In business, being willing to make a bold decision without always knowing what the outcome will be is often what separates the dreamers from the doers. Core lessons. What sets Shoe Dog apart is its honesty. Knight reveals the failures, the doubts, and the late-night struggles of building a global brand. But one lesson stands out: passion and resilience will take you further than money or strategy alone. Knight's journey was about embracing the struggle, trusting the process, and never giving up, even when success seemed impossible. Perhaps the most powerful lesson Knight imparts in Shoe Dog is the idea that success is a long and often painful journey. There's no shortcut, no formula that guarantees victory. His story shows that the process of building something meaningful requires sacrifice, sometimes personal, often financial, and almost always emotional. But it's through those hardships that true growth happens. The core takeaway here is that if you can learn to embrace the grind and stay committed to your vision, you'll have a shot at success. Conclusion: Shoe Dog is more than just a business story. It's a reminder that with the right mix of passion, persistence, and belief in yourself, anything is possible. Phil Knight's journey shows us that the path to success is rarely easy, but it's always worth it. Even in the darkest moments, when the weight of failure is almost unbearable, Knight's story teaches us to keep going. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Shoe Dog, don't forget to like and subscribe for more book reviews and insights.